How are you? I hope fine. I have finally recovered from COVID, although now I am facing some light after effects but nothing particularly painful. So, reading the title you will have understood that today we are talking again about opinions on Kpop, but this time, I will give them myself, since I have been listening to the opinions of others for more than 2 years and didn't say, mine. Except, this time, I'm going to pick up on what I wrote from a, quote-unquote, book on Wattpad, about Kpop opinions. I'll try to rephrase them as best I can, some of them are really old and badly written. Let's get started. Let's start immediately with a hot topic. I do not understand why some people do not accept reality. It is more than 3 years that the news of the birth of the Big Four has been announced. It's true, SM, Jive and G have brought so many changes to the world of Kpop thanks to their groups, and I recognize it. I'm not invalidating what the groups from these agencies have done, it just feels weird, almost obsessive, to be thus attached to an immaterial and changeable concept. With the passage of time things change, it is a very simple thing to understand and it is not so strange that this title has also changed. I do not find it reasonable to fight for something so simple and useless, and many of you forget that, in order to name someone in the big, you must not only look at what changes they have brought, but also what profits these agencies bring to Korea. Hive/Bigot makes more profits as a single agency, rather than SM, Jive and combined. Yes, practically dying. The only group running this agency is Blackpink, which alone sell quite well, but due to the marketing method they use, this is leading to the downfall of the agency. Jive goes on thanks to ITZY, Twice and Stray Kids, all three are very big groups and have good music and make great profits. SM, on the other hand, is still on the road and produces excellent groups, with good profits. However, I feel like these agencies are not doing something as relevant as they used to do. Now I find that they have settled in, not in a bad way, and have accepted the change. Speaking of Hive/Bigot, this agency is what I call legendary. With just one group, it managed to take BTS internationally with their music, risking, at first, drowning in debt and risking the disbandment of BTS. Hive has managed to do what other agencies have failed to do. And now, not only it is the largest Kpop company, but with its bands, including TXT, ENHYPEN and those to come, it is carrying on a huge slice of the Kpop industry, as well as a big slice of music history. So yes, in my opinion Hive deserves to be in this circle. This may sound strange, but that's exactly how it is. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks so, but choreographies are the last thing I care about in a Kpop group. I like dancing, but it has never been a practice that drives me crazy and perhaps I tend to mislead it for it. However, I do not doubt that an easy and catchy choreography can help you enjoy a song better. There are many dances that I love to imitate, such as Do 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 by Blackpink, What Is, Love by Twice, Thunderous by Stray Kids and so on. Not to mention how much, in the shows, they make everything appear more striking. But I'm here mainly for music and listening to what idols can do with their voice. Also, I don't like how sometimes the choreography is highlighted more than the rap/vocals. If I want to see a danced video I'll go look for it somewhere else, not to mention the fact that a strenuous choreography could worsen the vocals of an idol. Singing and rapping is difficult even when standing still, let alone when these idols have to move around doing mortal flips. This is a purely subjective thing. I know a lot of old songs from old Kpop artists, but I find myself listening to the new generations more. The first and second generation Kpop songs have, I don't know, a sound that reminds me of old American music from the 90s/2000 and in my opinion, it's a style that doesn't suit Kpop. Not to mention the fashion of those times, Anyway yes, I think the music of the third and fourth generation is better, but that's just my point of view. You literally complain about everything. You have surreal expectations for these idols. You attack each other if anyone has a different opinion than yours. Many of you are toxic. Do I need to say more? Girl groups stans, please don't attack me. I'm not a person who hates women, lol, that's just a mere preference too. I am a simp for low voices, especially in men. I know there are exceptions in women voices and I find all the female rappers and vocalists out here really talented, but I want to put the talent aside for a second and focus on what I like. I never really liked loud voices, so yeah, male voices are my favorite. I honestly never quite understood what people mean by this. I mean, I understand that by general music, maybe you mean the kind of pop music that everyone listens to, but using the term general doesn't make sense. What I don't like is how you think this is a derogatory term. It would be like describing the music of a group, commercial. It's the exact same thing. But all these terms indicate that that group, through music that everyone listens to, is able to attract many people and sell a lot. Which isn't exactly a bad thing, on the contrary, it's what keeps a group moving forward with their work and career. And, quote-unquote, general music, is not necessarily cheap music, and I find it a somewhat meaningless term. I prefer to use words like mainstream or commercial. These two have a lot more sense than general. Even Google didn't give me any results when I went looking for what general music really meant. In conclusion, yes, in Kpop there are bands that make more commercial music than others, so what? Everyone is free to do what they want, and if someone, to feel comfortable, can decide to make commercial music, I honestly don't see where the problem is. Even me, who listen to everything and prefer other musical genres rather than pop, I wouldn't hesitate to create a mainstream song. If it's to secure a career and some money, I certainly won't back down. Many of you treat Kpop as a competition, when you're missing the real point of what it's like to be a Kpop fan. Many times it happened to me to go against multi-fandom people, bearing in mind that I too am multi-fandom, because they simply don't know how to respect the tastes of others and they like to be dictators. There are no rules for being a Kpop fan. You could also be standing no group, but listening to a little bit of everything in general, without having that frenzy of following any group you like obsessively to show others that you are better. Being multi-fandom doesn't make you better and vice versa. As for me, I now follow 7 groups and 1 solo artist respectively: BTS, TXT, Stray Kids, ITZY, Honest, Ace, Blackpink and Somi. I only actively follow 3 of them, BTS, Blackpink and TXT, and by actively, I mean I also watch their content, as well as their music that they release. Altogether, the songs of all the groups I follow amount to more than 300. Someone had the courage to tell me that according to them, I am losing a lot of things by standing only 7 groups, but I do not agree at all. With more than 300 songs, ranging from pop to metal, with more than 10 content a day, can you explain to me exactly what I'm missing? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm fine with that. And I don't have to stan a group to listen to them. I don't stan Red Velvet, but I listen to them. I don't stan Twice, but I listen to them. I don't stan EXO, but I listen to them. And the same goes for all the other groups. Boys and girls, it's music, not a job. I got to a point where I said to myself, enough, don't force yourself to follow all the groups you like. Don't learn the names of the members if you don't want to, don't look at their contents if you don't have time, because I believe that many of you do that. You force yourself to follow more than 20 groups, just to show off. You too, trust me that, at some point, you will say enough. Again, Kpop is not a job, it's a passion, a hobby, something you have to do to have fun and not to show off. It's okay if you follow 30 groups. Just as it's okay if you only follow 1. Each to their own. Don't go and tell others what they should or shouldn't listen to, just because you have a different idea of what it's like to be a Kpop fan. For example, I am a huge fan of rock, but I don't follow any band/soloist that does this kind of music. I only listen to the songs that happen to me, because, well, I have other things to do in life, you know? I can't just live my life deciding who to follow or not. I just listen, and that's okay. I swear this fandom sometimes makes me lose my mind. The last time I got pissed was during the period where James Corden, this man here so to speak, made a comment about the appearance of BTS in the United Nations room. Now I can't find the video, but for those who don't know what happened, James commented, jokingly, but he could have restrained himself to say so, that the appearance of a South Korean boy band was unusual in the United Nations room, and he described ARMYs, always in a joking way, but that didn't make people laugh at all, like a bunch of 15-year-old girls. Now, James has a point in favor. It is true that it is unusual to see a South Korean band in the United Nations room, because BTS were actually the first to go there, and it is a unique thing. So I don't see why you took this personally. The second thing, describing the ARMYs only as 15-year-old girls is a past joke and no longer funny, but I understand that he did not want to offend anyone. He simply made a comment that a comedian like him would do. I'm glad he apologized, because he has shown that he has respect for us and BTS anyway, but some of you have ridiculed the whole fandom, sending messages of death to James. For something so simple, then maybe it is true that many of you are 15-year-old girls, because sending death messages is not something that a mature person would do. Calm your asses down, focus on real problems. Okay folks, the video ends here. I hope I have explained well and that you have understood everything. If something is not clear to you, write it in the comments and also tell your opinions. I'm curious to see what you think about Kpop in general. Goodbye, see you soon.